I mean, we're still running down, anywhere from 45 to 55% at almost all units. But there's interesting things. You're starting to see different markets where the world has changed a little bit, and all the snowbirds didn't leave Arizona and they didn't leave Florida, and they stayed down there. So they're kind of out of their season now in those two states, but they're staying stronger. All your leisure restaurants where you're on the waterfronts, people did go to the beach this year. I mean, they continued to go. Those were a lot better. But what's killing you is those urban restaurants, the big restaurants that are just dragging along because there's no business traveler, there's no group business, and there's no convention business.
And it sounds like you're talking about New York City and the New York area, Tilman, and I'm wondering how big of a percentage of your portfolio does New York and the surrounding area make, and what are your expectations here when you do open up? Do you think that things snap back? We saw a sharp V recovery in the stock market. I don't know if people feel that also in their pocketbooks.
Well, I mean, New York, everybody that's big in any business, New York is such a part of their business. Whether you're a financial services company or a retail company or a restaurant company. And I have more full-service restaurants in Manhattan itself than anybody else. And these are huge restaurants that do huge revenue and huge restaurant-level EBITDA. Because New York is New York. And we need to start trying to get it back just a little bit with, of course, strict guidelines, but to get people back to work, and at the same time, the operators. If you don't do something, we are going to cause a commercial real estate bust at some time because we can't pay rent if we're not doing business.
Are you yourself, Tilman, asking for rent reductions from your landlords? Is that why you believe so firmly that this will be the pain point in the next year, commercial real estate, with the ripple effect on banks?
Definitely. And all leases have some clauses in them that things you never thought would happen, but everybody has to be reasonable with everybody. And I want to be a reasonable tenant, and I expect the landlord to be reasonable with me. But don't expect me to pay you 100% rent when I've been closed by the county, the city, the state, the government, and you, because your mall's not open or your facility's not open, you have no business, your hotel's closed. And I think this is a time that we all have to work together. Everybody needs to be reasonable. And once again, everybody needs to feel some pain.
When you think about cities, Tilman, I wonder if you think about things differently. We've had a number of companies say to their employees, you know what, you can work from home indefinitely. And that would imply that some people actually move out of the cities if this is a trend that lasts. So how do you think about your restaurant empire, the number of restaurants you have concentrated within cities, and the areas you would expand to if this work from home trend actually persists and becomes a new sort of norm?
Well, it's going to hurt all your urban areas, of course. But what's really interesting is in 2008, 2009, 2010 crisis, it was the mortgage crisis in your big downtown units in New York, LA, Houston, Chicago, continued to do pretty darn good. It was the suburban restaurants that were hurting and did poorly because people couldn't even make their mortgages. They were being evicted. Right now, it's just the opposite. Everybody's staying home, and therefore the suburban restaurants are doing much better in this financial crisis than the urban restaurants. So once again, whatever we think is going to happen in this world, it always goes another way.